Great to have everyone joining us again. And for those of you, if it's your first time, so I'm Nicola Quayle, one of the co-founders of AI Marketers Guild APAC, along with my colleagues Sushmiti in Singapore, Daksh and Amadi in India. So really great to have you all here, and we're very excited to see this community expand across Asia Pacific. But before I introduce our guest speaker and colleague, I'd like to give those new to the community a quick background of who we are. So AI Marketers Guild was the brainchild of a US marketer, David Berkowitz. And after launching 2 years ago, it's grown to be a very significant community in North America. And we really wanted to create a regional community that showcased local pioneers in AI tools and applications, also marketing best practice with those integrating AI, and of course, world-class AI thought leaders with monthly webinars like this. And so rather than dabbling on the fringes, we love that everyone is here leaning in. So speaking of AI thought leaders, I'm very excited to introduce our next speaker and colleague, Daksh Sharma. Daksh will obviously spend a bit more time introducing himself, but based in India, Daksh is the director of IFFORT, a global digital marketing agency that has actually put AI at the center of its services. He's also a member of the Forbes Agency Council, and as I mentioned, has well and truly leaned into the world of AI and AI agents. So in today's session, Daksh will introduce us to this new world of vibe marketing. And honestly, when he first mentioned it, it took a while to go, what is this? But this session's really going to focus on and share not only simplify your day-to-day tasks, but also help you build deeper brand connections and really seeing the kind of future of marketing. So, imagine having a marketing department of one. So I'm really looking forward to learning more about this. So I'd like to now hand over to Daksh. Hello.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Nick. So today's session is like a 101 to get started with vibe marketing. And I promise you there are not any boring presentations, no slides. We'll do a direct demo. We'll teach you how, you could get started with your vibe marketing journey. Vibe marketing for me is primarily many things, but, today for the context of the session, we are going to cover voice. We'll, discover how can you build your own voice AI agent. You don't need to sort of work with developers. You don't need to work with professionals. You can literally get started from ground up in today's session. So in the next 15-20 minutes, I'd request you to stay focused. We'll give you a very, very easy, simple guide on how you can create your own voice AI agent. Now, what is a voice AI agent? Voice AI agent is essentially an AI agent that can talk like a human and can handle any queries for your business. So let's say we have Nick in the call, and in fact the demo that we're going to do today is for her company only. So we have built a small form which is acting on behalf of Insights Exchange, and when you fill the form, the voice AI agent is actually going to call you on your number. So without waiting further, I will give you a snippet of how this is going to work, and then we will go through in terms of how to build it. So let me share my screen. Right. So let me give you a demo first, and then we will, talk about how we can build this. So what we are looking at is a demo form. This is about no one other than Insights Exchange. That's Nick's company that she runs. And we have a small form where, let's say if I'm a prospect, I'm actually going to enter my number and my email and my company, and I'll just fill this form, right? So now usually when we fill these forms, we expect an automated email to come. But today what's going to happen is there will be an AI agent that will be calling. So once I submit this, it actually is going to initiate a call. And there I am getting a call. Hey, can you say your name one more time?
Rowan, how can I assist you today?
Hey, can you tell me about your company?
Insights Exchange, founded by Nicola Quayle, is all about delivering meaningful insights through research and data analysis. We're focused on helping businesses.
Hey, that's great. can you tell me, more about Nicola? Like, where is she from?
Nicola Quayle is originally from New Zealand. She's got a rich background in market research and data analysis. Nicola's passion is all about helping businesses grow through insightful data. Would you like to?
Okay, sounds great. Can you do a call transfer? Can you transfer a call?
Transfer the call now.
So there's a call transfer that just came. My phone was on silent, but what happened was the AI transferred the call to a human. So we looked at two things. Right now, we filled a form, and the AI agent called. The AI agent was named Helen because Helen is today not feeling well, but she's a part of a core group. So I didn't sort of voice train for her voice, but the whole idea was that we have a AI voice agent that can actually call you and can also do a call transfer. What do we mean by call transfer? Let's say somebody wants to talk to Nick in real time. The AI agent can do a call transfer as well, which is where it was going on my other phone, right? Now, what we're going to do is we'll look at how we build this, how everybody in the call today can build this. It's not very complex, it's very simple. We have many ways through which we can create a voice AI agent. We have solutions like retail. We have solutions like WAPI. So today we are going to look at how we can create our voice AI agent using WAPI. Okay. So I'm now inside the logged in panel of WAPI. We are looking at basically the interface of WAPI. It's pretty complex. It's a pretty busy screen, but I'd like you to focus on something along with me. Don't look at all of these things. We have what we call as an assistant, which is in this case called Insights Exchange Assistant. We've created an assistant which is trained to answer questions on behalf of Insights Exchange. So as you see over here, this is basically an agent that can answer on behalf of Insights Exchange. So it's the first message which says, hi, name means this is like a dynamic variable, because when you see I filled the form over here, I'm passing a value, which is the name, right? So what I'm actually doing is I'm picking the name over here and I'm actually putting that in ampersand. So essentially I'm passing that value dynamically. We'll talk about how we do that. And I've given the name to the agent, which is Helen, and how can I help you today, right? So I've given a training to the agent in this case, like what exactly the agent is supposed to do. It's almost like you train a human, right? When you train a human, you sort of give them information about what you're supposed to answer, who are you representing. So I've given a tone and style in terms of how you are supposed to speak. You have to have a natural conversation. Also, you have to avoid robotic patterns, like, because a lot of times AI, people still say, which I highly disagree, that AI talks like, robo, which is not right. So you are given a clear instruction in terms of how you're supposed to talk, what is your response guideline like, and also you have to take a brief pause between thoughts to mimic natural speech. Now, I'll also tell you how we create the system prompt. We're going to make it super easy for everybody so that they can create the system prompt. You can use AI for this. And also, we have created something like a fallback protocol. Like if a caller's inquiry falls outside your knowledge scope, because we've trained the agent on a certain knowledge scope, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to apologize for the inconvenience. Okay. So creating an agent is pretty simple. You literally have to just click on this button and you can create an agent from here. You get templates such as a blank template. You can also, choose what kind of an agent that you want. In my case, I created like a blank template. So once you actually get this, here you get a blank system prompt. In this case, right now we are looking at Insights Exchange, and we are looking at the system prompt for Insights Exchange, right? Now, this is basically a guideline for how an AI agent is supposed to answer the question. But where does it get the information from? It gets the information from a file, which is the knowledge data, which is basically all the information that is there about the company that's available. Now, in my case, what I did was we created a base, which is like a knowledge base for Insights Exchange. We'll also talk about how do we get this knowledge base created? How can we make this knowledge base using AI? And that's where, ChatGPT comes to the rescue. But I sort of went through the website of Insights Exchange. They have looked at what the company is doing, what the services are on offer, what all the things are there, blah, blah, blah. All of the information sort of goes in. And that basically becomes our knowledge base, right? So this is our knowledge base. Now let's look at some fine-tuned elements over here, which might sound a little technical, but they are not. Here we can select the model that's being used, because this is a voice AI that's responding. So you can choose a model according to your liking. In my case, we are using OpenAI and we are using GPT-4o. Now you can see the cost of the model. If you see over here all the way up, you can see how much does 1 minute call cost you. And in this case, you can see it's about 12 cents a minute, right? And this is the latency. What does latency mean? Is latency actually is the response time for an agent to respond to you. So the latency that you actually get over here is a combination of the models that you select, the voices that you select, and the transcriber that you select. So you can sort of play around with this, and you will get to know what the latency is. So if you see over here, you're seeing the value, which is the dollar value, and also you can see the response time, which is in terms of latency. And for the context of this demo, we are looking at a GPT-4o as well as the provider over here, right? So now we further get down, and we can also play around with the temperature. Now, what is the temperature? Temperature is primarily the creativity that can be there in your response. So if you want your AI agent to give a more creative response, you can sort of look at this value over here. And then here you can choose the voice configuration. Voice configuration is essentially nothing but the text to speech engine that you're using. Now we have a lot of text to speech engines that are available. For the context of this demo, we have used 11 Labs, which is by far one of the most intelligent text to speech engines that is available. It's very human like. It does come at a cost, but if let's say cost is a consideration for you, you can choose more models like Cartesia. You can even choose WAPI's native voices, or you could even use a Play HT as well. So just recapping what all we have sort of discovered so far, we are talking about a system prompt, which is my guideline for an AI agent to act. You're supposed to act like a human, how you're supposed to respond. We have a knowledge base, which we just looked at in terms of how we created it. And then we are looking at the voice configuration. These are the voices that we can actually pick, right? Likewise, we have some more complex values, and because we're just getting started, this is a 101. I don't want everybody to be bombarded with things, but these are basically some actions that your agent can take. Let's say you want an agent to create an email. So you can actually use this tool thing over here. Or you want an agent to send a text on behalf of Nicola and say that, okay, she's probably in a meeting. So that is how you can actually select a tool, and you can even ask user for a time, or you could, do a custom integration with cal.com as well. So you want calendar availability, all of that sort of goes on over here. Tools and predefined functions are primarily the same thing, but you can give some more options. If you see over here, I had entered a call forwarding as well, right? So call forwarding is where, and when I asked the agent to transfer the call, it was actually transferring the call to this number, and that was actually given over here. You can choose from various countries. No matter which country you are representing, you can actually have the AI agent transfer the call to the number and the country that you choose, right? The interesting part of this whole configuration is I have created, I have basically linked it to a phone number, because if you see the call was coming from the phone. So this is where when actually I filled this form, the call was coming from a phone. So we had to sort of connect this whole agent to a number as well, right? So what we do is we basically choose the numbers here on the left hand side of the screen, and we go all the way down, and we can choose the number for our agent. So we can sort of link our AI agent to a specific number. In this case, this is the number, and you can see literally the name is sort of linked, and you can link it to an assistant as well. So what it means is that if I call this number back, it's again going to be Helen, who's the designated ID. If I select it over here, assistant, and I choose Insights, Inside Exchange, it's going to be Helen again picking and actually answering this. So what it means is that if I was running Inside Exchange as a company, I can actually go to my website, and I can have a number which is basically like a number of an agent that can go over here as well, right? I'm just checking if the network is fine, if there's a problem with my screen. Can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Awesome.
We can hear you.
Yeah. So I'm just sharing back the screen again. So like you could literally have, somewhere probably over here, if there's a number, I could replace it with my dedicated voice AI number is what I was trying to say, right? So going back to WAPI in terms of the dashboard, creating a number is fairly sort of easy. Again, so you can just like so here you can actually have your number, which is your inbound phone agent number, and you can also link it to a fallback destination in terms of how it's created. And what I've done is sort of I've linked this assistant, which is the Insights Exchange assistant, to this number. So I will just take a quick pause right now to ensure that everybody is with me. I'll answer the questions. We'll make it like a working session because we are straight away sort of doing a demo. So just checking if there are any queries right now.
Well, I'll jump in because it's my voice agent. But so when you were saying about, so I know the cost difference was lag. What else kind of makes up the different costs? What else contributes to the different costs
Yeah.
differential?
So yeah, that's let's actually look at this. If you see hover over this, we can literally see the breakdown of what the cost is. So we are talking about 12 cents over here, right? The system which we are using right now, which is WAPI, is taking 5 cents from us. We can choose not to use WAPI. And who doesn't use WAPI? Let's say if I'm a developer, I cannot sort of create my own agent through vibe coding, vibe marketing, then I would not use WAPI because I want to save on the costs, right? And then the other thing is we are using an ASR, and we are also using a GPT. And then lastly, we are using a text to speech engine. So this is one of the biggest components of your cost. Text to speech is by and large one of the biggest components of your cost. There's a question about what is the link between Hey Mirai. Hey Mirai is just a domain that we are using because I had to sort of spin a quick demo. Today we are not talking about Hey Mirai. That's probably for another session. But I just had to sort of use a URL, which is why I chose, to set up the demo on heymirai.com. Yeah. Okay. So going back to now let's look at how do we sort of create a system prompt and how can we even create a knowledge base. This is where ChatGPT sort of makes it super easy. So all I did was I literally sort of created the agent through this, and here I just literally told ChatGPT that I want to sort of create an inbound voice agent on WAPI for Insights Exchange, and it created a knowledge base for me. So you can see the preliminary knowledge base was created using ChatGPT, and all I did was exported it into PDF. So the PDF that you're looking at was created using ChatGPT. I didn't even scrap it. All right. So that is how the knowledge base was created, and then moving on to the other aspects in terms of how do I integrate it. Even the the initial guidelines of how do I sort of integrate it was given using ChatGPT. So I was using ChatGPT through and through. Then the second part is the system prompt. If you see the system prompt over here, I used ChatGPT again to create a system prompt as well. So here you can see the identity, the tone and style, the response guidelines, the tasks and goals were created using ChatGPT. So you could use, obviously you can use Claude 4, 3.7, whatever you want. And I kind of again fine-tuned the prompt a little bit because the initial response that I was getting was a little mechanical. So I fine-tuned the prompt, and the prompt was further fine-tuned to ensure it's sounding less robotic. And pardon me, Nicola, if there are any errors, because this is obviously preliminary research just for the demo. So if there are any errors that our AI agent is making, I do apologize for that. And even while I was doing the testing, the agent was reading the numbers 1, 2, 3. So I asked a question that, can you tell me about the services of Insights Exchange? So it was saying 1, 2, 3. So again, this was a part of the system prompt. So to get a good voice AI agent that is very responsive, listens to you, all is the magic is actually in the prompt. Like we say for ChatGPT as well, like the prompt is the key. So all of that information goes over here because the way it is speaking is controlled by your text to speech engine, which is the voice part, if you see over here. But what you are making it say and the instructions that you're giving to it are very important, which goes in your system prompt. So let's say if we test this agent more and we say that the agent is not up to the mark, all we have to do is work on the system prompt. And that is where we have to do a lot of testing and refinement, right? So this is the whole part where actually we did the speech configuration. And then now let's also look at how did we create this form, because this is where the other aspect of why coding stroke, why marketing is. I'm not a developer. I don't kind of, code. So what we did was we went back to ChatGPT and we told ChatGPT that I want to create a form on Lovable.dev. For those of you who are not aware, Lovable is right now the most trending tool for you to create your own landing pages or forms as well. So I went to ChatGPT and I said that I want to create a form on Lovable.dev for this voice agent so that when a user fills the form, you get a response. So the entire prompt for Lovable was created again using ChatGPT. So here you can see the prompt that is there. This is the prompt. And what I did was I took this prompt and I went to Lovable and I gave the prompt here. So if you see, this is the prompt that I gave. So the form that you're seeing, the entire page, Nicola's pick, was actually given as an input here. All I did was I connected to a custom domain and basically mixed Lovable and WAPI together. So every time when a user, hits the submit button, I was triggering a response from WAPI. So this is where, I pass some values, which is basically values in terms of the payload. And every time user hits a submit button, there was a call request that was being triggered to WAPI. We're not storing any values. There is no database over here. But all the heavy lifting, trust me, has been done by Lovable, by WAPI, and by ChatGPT. So this is how you can literally sort of make a super simple, very easy system to have your own voice AI agent for your business, whether you're a freelancer, whether you're an independent consultant. You can literally build a voice AI agent that can pick the calls for you, can also make calls on your behalf as well. So I'll take a quick pause, and that's pretty much about it in terms of the session. It's super specific in terms of what we're talking about today. Let me see if there are any questions right now.
Not in the chat, but if anyone wants to jump in, that was fairly crazy.
Yeah. Sushmita, if there is anything that you feel is missing that we need to add.
I wanted to understand a little bit around connecting Lovable to WAPI. So that trigger for Lovable to identify, to when it's the code that connects it to a WAPI interface was also given by ChatGPT. So when the page was made, or did you have to ask for it to get connected and give them a code for WAPI's page or something?
Yeah, I'll just share my screen again. I think there are a couple of questions around.
I think that's the same question Shubham has, how to connect WAPI to Lovable.
Yeah.
I think we've taken that, and we have one from Mark. I think Mark will just solve this and come to a couple of questions.
Yeah. So I'll just kind of zoom in on that a little bit. I'm moving through the prompt. After the end of the session, we'll give you the prompt. We'll also give you we'll give you a prompt for Lovable. We'll give you a prompt for ChatGPT. We'll also give you a WAPI prompt as well, so that you can create, your own agent. In terms of your question, Sushmita, as well as Shubham's question, this is where you can see I was trying to sort of play around, and I said that I want to trigger a WAPI callback on submission of the form, right? So there are certain values that I had passed, and I'll tell you what those values are, because I'm on a screen share. I don't want to expose my API key over here. So here are certain values that you need to sort of give to Lovable. There's something called the assistant ID. If you see at the top, there's a assistant ID. This is called so basically when you're actually hitting a submit form, they need to know what your assistant ID is, right? And then there's something like a WAPI key, API key, right? So this is where your WAPI API key. So you need to give an assistant ID. You need to give your WAPI API key. Along with that, you also need to give your phone number as well, which is not the phone number that you're sort of looking at, but the ID of the phone number. So we are passing three values. We're passing phone number ID. We're passing, and this is actually created, through Twilio. It's again super simple, nothing complex. And so we are passing assistant ID, we are passing WAPI API key, and we're also passing phone number. And all I did was because we were not creating like a full-fledged system. The ideal way to do this is not expose it on the front end, but you can store it in a database. But here, what we did was we sort of gave within the prompt as well. So you can see that I'm making those requests and I'm moving through this quickly because there are my API key over here. So this is after this. Again, the heavy lifting was done by Lovable. I did nothing. I just gave it the values and I said, I want to hit the submit button and I want you to create a call. So it knew my assistant ID, it knew my phone number ID, it also knew my API key. And after that, it's actually invoking a call because it's mapped to that assistant.
API key is what you pay to WAPI to use that system.
So when you create an account on WAPI, you get an API key by default. So to WAPI, you are only paying for the calls. Everything else is included. So like right now for the new assistant, you're kind of paying 10 cents because WAPI takes 5 cents for every call.
Okay. Yeah. I think the next question is from Mark. Mark, if you're here, do you want to just tell us the question or should I read it out? I can't see you here. Yeah, Mark's here. Okay, read it out. Great. How long would it take for a newbie to start this and get it tested and working?
Okay. Hi, Mark. So I think once we give the prompt for WAPI for Lovable, and obviously, without setting up a form, it's pretty easy. I think it should take not more than a day for you to set up your own agent. It's that simple. And I hope that everybody creates their own voice agents after this call. That's the purpose.
Okay. And Mark had another question around what's the link between WAPI and Hey Mirai, which is a real estate agent's voice tool?
Yes. Probably, I think, Mark, we don't want to make a sales pitch. We are building industry's first voice AI agent for real estate. It's the first, AI agent which is actually completely AI. She can pick up calls. She can make cold calls as well for you. But probably we'll speak about that later because, Nicola is going to flag me off if I start making a sales pitch today.
Okay. Anyone else who wants to give this a try while we have some time on the call? If you want to give this a try, just create an account in anything.
Yeah.
That's another thing that while you do it, you can ask some questions. But yeah, any other questions anybody has on how to set this
and
up?
also, since we are there in the call, the whole idea of doing this vibe marketing sessions are to make them short. You don't want to make it super long where we start with boring PPTs. We straight away want to get into working sessions. And one of the sessions that we are probably going to plan soon is how you can create your AI videos, which are end-to-end AI videos like animated videos or even a product videos. So we will show you a working creative workflow in terms of how you can do that. And that's something which also we are working on. So these are crisp, short sessions with key takeaways, so that you see the output and then you can learn how to sort of do it on your own. Right. Is this the shortest session, Nick and Sushmita, that we are having?
Yeah, I was going to say we could wrap it up, but equally, it's one of those ones that I think, to your point, Daksh, if it's Sushmita, as you said, if people go away and rewatch this video, because we'll be sending it out to everyone, have a go. And Daksh, will you be open to follow-up questions? You might end up with a whole flurry, but
100%. As long as my API key is not exposed, because that's what I was concerned about, which is why I didn't want to sort of show I'll probably use a different API key. We'll truncate that. So, but Nick, I'll send you the form. In fact, we'll drop the link. We'd love you to try interacting with this agent as well. Learn more about Insights Exchange and what Nick's company does as well. So,
well, and I'm excited about, and I was even going to ask, even just, well, Daksh, before we do sign off, would it be possible just in others maybe already familiar with it, but even when vibe marketing became a thing, because as I said, I hadn't heard the term before you talked about it. So even just a minute on the world of vibe marketing and the philosophy behind it. I mean, I guess it's the marketing agency of one, but equally, what else is behind
it? Sushmita, you want to take a shot at it? I'll also chip in. But what do you think about vibe marketing now that you've been talking about it as well.
So Nicola, if you could just ask that question again.
Like what is vibe marketing for you?
Yeah, I'd
how
never
do you
heard of
use
it
it?
before. Before we
Yeah.
had this topic, I'd never heard of it, and so I just thought for others as well, this phrase and term could be also completely new. So we jumped in, but maybe just a little bit of a stepping up.
I think vibe marketing, from what I've read, understood, and obviously worked with Daksh on it, is a solution that now allows you to create agents for different parts of your marketing journey. So whether it's creatives or using it for what we use customer service, like creating a voice agent, or even doing performance marketing or social tracking, there is an agent you can create for each of these services, and then build it all together as having this one little marketing team, which is completely agent led. So again, what it does, what in terms of what I've seen and how I've used some variants of it, is that it helps you scale really fast and helps you to test and learn really fast. So will it completely replace your marketing team? Not yet, perhaps. But what it will do is that it will help you, give more hands to work with for a really thin or not upskill marketing team. And the second thing it really helps in doing is that it helps you test and learn really quickly. So if there are some creatives you want to test, if there are some ad ideas you want to test, if there is even like a certain campaign you want to test online on digital platforms only, the test and learn becomes really quick. So I think that's where I feel vibe marketing today at this current stage, where with the kind of learning, with the kind of adoption we have, that's where the opportunity is. Daksh?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think vibe marketing allows every single person in this call to be 10x of their capabilities and imagine things that you have never ever done before. For example, creating a voice AI agent, probably 3 months back. Even imagining something like this was super impossible because everybody felt that it was code. But with things which combine Lovable, ChatGPT, and WAPI, allows you to create your voice AI agent. So I think a vibe marketer for me is not a generalist, but a specialist who has got a lot of superpowers, can do many things, and is probably like a single person who can literally do 10x capabilities. I think that for me is vibe marketing.
That was actually great. Yeah, it was just good to get a kind of high level and fantastic. Well, that's
Yeah, I think also it will be very unique to each vibe marketer. Everybody should have a vibe marketer in their teams, but how the vibe marketer works will be depend on your industry, your skill set, and how much you're willing to kind of use them in your journey of marketing. So yeah, I think it will also be a clean. But yeah, that's it.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much, Daksh. It's so cool. I have a voice agent. So very excited about that. And the team, I'll have to let Helen know, but we'll definitely start using that. And as you can see, I mean, it's a market research company. Like, you can't get more niche than that. So if you can create something for that, imagine, what you can do for a consumer brand or a technology brand. So yeah, you can kind of see how, applicable it is to lots of different industries and companies. So that's super exciting. Well, I look forward to seeing more of the other agents that come out of the Vibe marketing agencies. So yeah, we'll have to have a follow-up session on, I don't know, what other Vibe marketers can you build?
We'll look at Vibe videos next.
Nice. Okay. I like that. That'll be awesome. We'll watch this space. Well, thank you again, Daksh and Sushmita. Thank you, everybody. And thanks everyone for joining. We'll send this webinar out shortly, so you can all start learning to create your voice agent. And yeah, we'll call the Daksh voice agent for his feedback.
All right. Thank you so much. Thanks.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.